I'm excited as hell about this album. I'm excited musically. I'm excited about my career. The path it's taken for me to get here. A lot of y'all have seen me grind so hard to get where I'm at. And a lot of y'all have helped me grind to get where I'm at.
Chapter 5 is the intro to the album. It's actually a full song, but if you listen very closely, the full song is actually on the album somewhere as well. But it's just more so a theme than anything else. The production is very elaborate, very big, very warm, and it's reminiscent of the Anticipation series I've done before. It's very sensual, very much sexy, very provocative, and you know, just basically giving you a heads up of what's to come on this album. You know, I like it when the ladies could play my music with the candles lit next to the tub, you know, that type of thing. This is called Dive In. Dive In is a song that's very much the epitome of what R&B is. If you listen to the music, you listen to the guitars, the bass, the chords. It is simply beautiful, just the track alone. And I'm known for witty ballads. And you know, it's obviously about swimming. You know, I was swimming in the pool earlier that day, and I thought about diving in. I think sometimes as an artist you focus so much on growth and evolution that you can sometimes forget to make the core records that come so easy to you or that your fans know you for. And before I got to dive in, I knew that was the melody. Like, I liked that part, but I didn't figure out what to say that was clever enough, like right off the bat. And then it hit me. It was me, it was Kevin Lyles, Naja, Troy Taylor, a couple sexy lady friends around. And before we walked out, I belted out, "Dive in!" And then we went to get something to eat. We came back and finished the record. What's so dope about Dive In and Panty is that they the two records that represent the authentic sound of R&B that I've been given for years. What's extra crazy too is that the way they flow into each other, like the water running over, diving in, referencing wet, panties being wet, etc., etc. And Panty Wetter for me was like Panty Dropper Part 2. Strong piano, amazing melodies, you know, and I got drink in my cup, got weed rolled up, but I'm high off you tonight. So I'm gonna play that. Heart Attack. Heart Attack is the first single off of this album, which was picked to be the first single for many different reasons. It has a very broad sound, Benny Blanco production, shout out to Rico Love, who has another record on the album as well. And you know, from the moment it starts, it's a global record sonically, and as far as the melodies within it, like, oh, that's so big, just coming at the beginning of the track. And this track is just to explain in so many different ways the ups and downs of a relationship. You know, when you really rock with somebody, when you really been through something with them, you know, love ain't all, you know, peaches and cream. It's hard. It's something that you really gotta work at. Well, Rico Love, amazing songwriter, a good friend of mine now. When he played me the track for Heart Attack, I said, that's something special right there. And we sat and we sculptured that thing to be what it is, and it came out to be amazing. I told him, I said, this might be the first single when we recorded it. Playing Hard, just a song that says all that I said about Heart Attack. Like, I'm sick of playing hard. I'm sick of acting like I don't care. I'm sick of, you know, being the guy that I am in this relationship right now. I don't want to lose you. Like, and just going through all the emotions and things that men never say. And sequentially, it just comes after Heart Attack. We just broke up. This shit is kind of new. Like, right after you say worst pain that I ever had. There's an authenticity in certain records that live on the album that are special to fans. And this is one of those records. I'm an artist that's in the club. I wrote it with Nigel McDowell, as I did a lot of records on this album, and it just came to us very fast. Probably about 45 minutes and the record was written. You know, it's just a very fun record. You know, I know it's somebody's birthday right now. I know somebody getting drunk right now. You know, celebrate. You know, this is why I come to the club. And my homeboy Tip, I called him on the phone, sent him the record. He got it back to me in like 2 days. He's very excited about it. And I knew it would be something special. And one of the dope components about this record, just as a gem for me as an artist, as someone who cherishes every step of this path, being at chapter 5 now, remembering chapter 1, and even before that, it's my first feature ever. And no money involved, just a handshake, you know, real genuine, real authentic, and coming full circle 7, 8 years later, and him still being there for me, and us still having a relationship that has obviously grown since then. This record means a lot to me. Hail Marys is probably one of my favorite records on the album. And, when being interviewed about the album throughout the past year and a half, I've been saying that I would add components that I usually give to other people's music. Certain sounds you only hear me on other people's projects. You only hear me on a guest appearance, have a certain voice, or make a certain kind of record. And I decided that I would need a couple of those records for myself on this album. Hail Mary was actually a record I made playing around. Shout out to my boy Zeke Lewis. This was actually only a month and a half ago. I sent it to Wayne first. Wayne sent his verse back like in a week. Loved his verse. It still wasn't a complete song. We were turning in track listings. We were getting mixes and masters, and this is actually the last song to be mixed and mastered up. Jeezy sent his verse in very quick, and he turned up, and I feel like, you know, both of them gave me some of the best verses I heard from them, and I love it. I think it's going to be one of people's favorite records on the album. My little brother sent me tracks every day. And this one day in particular, he kept sending me tracks, and this track he didn't really think was that special. He thought it was the track, there's like 2 tracks before it that he wanted me to use, and I was like, nah, I like this one. And as soon as he sent it, like, I turned it up on my computer, and I called him. And I told him, this the one, this gonna be your first placement. And I sang what I had for him, and this is way before I had thought about putting Rick Ross on it. That same night, I went and recorded it. He still ain't heard the song yet. So it's gonna be like a surprise. I'm excited for him to have that first moment, because I remember all my firsts in the music industry. First time seeing my name in the credits, and now, you know, having our names beside each other. Tremaine Neverson, Alex Neverson, that's something I'm very proud of. Very proud of him. And this song is just basically coming off of Hail Mary, staying in that same vibe, coming off of 2 Reasons sequentially, and as far as my will to make a cohesive album, it's a little more soft and subtle and sexier than Hail Mary, but it's still like the lyrical content is still, you know, G'd up. Pretty Girls Lie actually is a title that came to me before anything else, before the music was made, before any lyrics came. It was a title. I was having a conversation with this girl. She was supposed to call me. Like, we was texting each other. She was like, I'm gonna call you when I get done, da 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 da. Like 3 days passed. She still ain't called me. She's supposed to send a picture too. So I hit her back. And she laughed out loud. And she said, Pretty Girls Lie, you didn't know that? Bad Decisions and so many of the other songs about heartbreak or turmoil in a relationship, I feel like I've had an encounter with each and every piece of every one of those songs. And on the flip side, I feel like I've felt, you know, like a woman was simply amazing and I didn't deserve her before, but she loved me. If you listen closely to a lot of these songs, they are autobiographical, whereas though I'm giving my version of how I fucked up. In Bad Decisions, I think every man could sing at one point in time, whereas though you just made the wrong choice. Forever Yours, I think it got an amazing groove, amazing pocket. It's essentially just a sexy record to make women feel good to, and you know, I'm coming home to the one, like, we may not be together, we may not always spend time together, this ain't my crib, it's your crib, but I'm coming home. gonna spend time like we spend time, and I want you to tell me that it's mine, even though it might not be. And it's just that sexy vibe. I love everything about that record, from the tone in my voice to the harmonies to the kick drum to the breakdown where the drums drop out and the vamp. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. Well, Inside Interlude is a sample of a record entitled Inside on the Anticipation 2 mixtape, and that was a fan favorite. And you know, mixtapes I create for my fans and specifically for my fans, and really don't care who outside of that radius appreciates them at this point in my career, although they started as something, a creative outlet to be heard and to gain fans. But now it's more so to super serve and make sure my fans who have been there and been holding me down know that I appreciate and make music for them. I did 2 interludes with that. You know, on Panty, I actually stole some lyrics from Love Faces. Take 'em on, take 'em on, take 'em on, baby. So that's actually in that song. I think that'll be a nice surprise for fans. When I wrote Hail Mary the day before, I'd actually did Fumble. And it wasn't even in the same mindset that I did it. You know, you often have a woman that'll go the distance for you, and you know, you got her heart in your hands if you're not taking care of it. It's like you got the most precious asset of what the whole thing is about, and you fumbling. You know what I mean? She's still here for me, and it's like I'm shocked you never walked out, and I'm letting her know that it's not your fault that I fumbled your heart. And I just want you to know that I figured it out now, and I think we should figure it out. I think it's gonna be one of those records that jumps off the album.
And Trey has taken on the responsibility to say, yo, not only am I going to make music, I'm going to say things in my music, and I'm going to tell a woman everything that she needs to hear. Yes, I'm going to make love to her. Yes, I might have her in the club acting crazy to her, seeing on tables and stuff like that, but I'm going to also teach her that a man can't be a man without a woman.
Without a Woman was also in the first batch of songs. I think it's the most soulful record on the album, from the horns to the old school backgrounds to my vocals to the content lyrically. It's a record that I feel I owe my fans with every album. Furthermore, the content of the record is just stating that we as men, we nothing without women. We can't really take ourselves seriously. You know, we say it's a man's world and all this, that, and the other, but really, you know, if you look around and without women, there's no conception, there's no birth, there's no people, there's no love, there's that. I feel like the women are what really make this world go around. Interlude for You is very much a part of Without a Woman.
This is for you.
You know, it's once again a treat for my fans that were there for the Anticipation 2 experience. It's from a vantage point where you're like the total opposite of what you just said in the record before. It's like, I'm pathetic without you, I can't live without you, but you can't go nowhere.
There's certain songs that play on and last on the radio forever. And I feel like this is that kind of song.
Simply Amazing, for a lot of my fans, a lot of new fans I would say, would be considered a new sound for me. You know, I listen to a lot of Maroon 5, a lot of Kings of Leon. It's so many different types of music I listen to that I think people would be surprised to hear. And this is my interpretation of what my voice is on a record like that. And it's just, you know, speaking on a beautiful love. I think it's the love we all wish to have, the love we don't see much of anymore. And if you've ever caught a glimpse of that feeling, you wish you could bottle it up and hold that feeling forever. Never Again is a record that has a different feel for me as well. It reminds me of like college dropout, like early Kanye stuff. And it's very melodious. It's my voice in a different place. For a lot of people, I think it will be. And it's just basically about that that love you'll never have the chance to get again. It feels much happier than it is. It's actually a sad song, but it feels very joyful. Check me out, I got Puff and Meek Mill. And it's a record, you know, when the track come on, no matter what you say on, I feel like the track is a hit by itself. And shout out to my homie B Major, who's actually produced the song on every album except this one, but we wrote some of this record together. And I feel like the way that I'm flowing on it remind me of like some 96, 97 Puff, you know, and Big, like Mace and all of that whole era. So I called Puff, I'm like, man, I got this record, I want you to ad-lib on. He like, so where the verse at? Let me get a verse. He said, oh, you want me to ad-lib? You want me to be your hype man? Like, the text was hilarious. But it's no secret, Puff do the best at that. I know Meek since both of us had braids, you know, 5, 6 years ago. To see him at this successful level in his career right now, I'm proud of him. As a friend, I wanted him to be a part of my success and also be a part of his. And Check Me Out is just one of those records that's gonna go off in the club, and I think that's the way to end the album. After going on so many different places within this album, I think just going back to that place at the end where it's fun and it's energetic and it's, you know, liquor flowing and it's pretty women everywhere. That's what I see.